Is Voracious Tome Skimmer the secret to making a budget mono blue flash deck work in Lorwyn Eclipsed standard? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. And this week, we have a sweet one. We're heading to Lorwyn Eclipsed Standard to play some Mono Blue Flash, and I'm pretty excited about this deck, because if you watch daily spoiler videos, you might remember that for like the last year, every time we get a new set, there's some card that comes out where I'm like, I bet we could build a super sweet Flash deck with this card, but we never actually build the Flash deck, so today, we're finally going to play some Flash and see if we mash all these things together, if the end result can be a super sweet, a super powerful, and most importantly, super cheap deck. Mono Blue Flash, 75 bucks in paper, 8 total rares on Magic Arena. So let's talk some Mono Blue Flash, what it's trying to do, how it works, jump into some games, see the deck in action. So Mono Blue Flash, it's a tempo deck, and if you look at the cards in our deck, especially the creatures in our deck, most of them are more like sneaky and tricky than rawly powerful. There's no, huge finisher where we just play a Bringer the Last Gifts and the game ends or anything like that. So all this to say, we need a lot of cards to actually win the game, which means that our card advantage engines are the most important cards in the deck. And one of these, I'm sure you already know, an Enduring Curiosity, very good standard card, perfect for this deck, is a 4/3 for 4 with Flash. Then when a creature deals combat damage, we draw a card. If it dies, it comes back as an enchantment. So this just turns all of our sneaky, tricky, sometimes evasive Flash creatures into really powerful cards because they're coming in and annoying our opponent, tapping stuff down, being obnoxious, and then also getting to draw cards with Enduring Curiosity. But one of the reasons I'm so excited about this deck is thanks to Lorwyn Eclipsed, we now have another card advantage engine that I think actually might be sneaky powerful in Voracious Tome Skimmer. So Voracious Tome Skimmer, a triple Dimir hybrid 2/3 flyer. It says whenever you cast a spell during your opponent's turn, you can pay a life to draw a card. And when you see the rest of our deck, you will see that every single non-land card in our main deck, except for Voracious Tome Skimmer, is either an instant or it has Flash, which means we can always cast it during our opponent's turn. So the idea is we get down Voracious Tome Skimmer, and then every turn, we never cast anything during our turn. We just draw our card, maybe attack, pass the turn. We cast everything during our opponent's turn, which means once Skimmer's down, pretty much every card we cast comes with kicker of you can pay a life to draw a card, which is super, super strong. So now, if we don't draw Enduring Curiosity, we got Voracious Tome Skimmer. If we don't draw Tome Skimmer, we got Enduring Curiosity, which gives us this redundancy in our card advantage engines to help make sure we have one each and every game, which is super important to the deck functioning. As far as the rest of the creatures in our deck, as I mentioned before, it's a bunch of tricky, sneaky Flash stuff. A Spectral Sailor gives us a 1-drop, Flood Pit Drowner, Fabloom Tricks, Flash creatures, and I guess pseudo creatures in Flamebloom Tricks that tap something down. Hornlack Whale, a big flasher, can be removal thanks to Adventure. Plume Creed Escort, evasive Flash creatures, a 2-mana 2/1 flyer that also gives something hexproof when it enters, so a good way to protect our Tome Skimmer, our Enduring Curiosity, and then one Unagi at Kyoshiaya, which maybe draws us some extra cards sometimes. So the idea is, we get down the card advantage engines, and then all these cards become way better than they look because you're all going to be drawing us extra cards with Tome Skimmer and with Enduring Curiosity. And the same is mostly true of our removal. It's all the stuff we can cast during our opponent's turn. Into the Floodmaw for bounce, Noggle the Mind, the Blue Doom Blade, enchants a creature, makes it lose all abilities, turns it into a 1/1 Noggle, and we can cast it with Flash, so it triggers all of our stuff. Phantom Interference, a counter that can also make a creature at instant speed. Spider Sense is kind of a super negate that can sometimes do tricky stuff by bouncing our Flash creatures. Mana Base is simple and cheap as possible, 24 islands. In the sideboard, we get a bunch of customization for our counter spells like Annul for artifacts and enchantments, Flash Freeze for the Badger Mole Cub decks, Bounce Off, Aetherize for more bounce. Aetherize, I really want to get a Badger Mole Cub player with Aetherize, but we'll see if it actually happens. Soul Guide Lantern to deal with graveyard decks, and that is Mono Blue Flash, and that's our budget magic for this week. So let's jump into some games and see if Flash can actually work on a budget in Lorwyn Eclipsed Standard. How good at Voracious Tome Skimmer? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. budget magic time. We're heading to Lorwyn Eclipsed Standard this week to play some Mono Blue Flash, and I'm actually pretty excited for this deck because I think Voracious Tome Skimmer might be kind of like a busted uncommon, but we're gonna find out. Plus this deck, super cheap everywhere. This then looks fine. We got the Tome Skimmer. See what our opponent's up to. Swamp and Tiny Bones. All right, Tiny Bones, eh? Well, that's fine. Land, go. I don't think we even need to tap it down yet. We have the Flood Pits Drowners, but we don't have anything in our graveyard, so we can afford to take one for now. What we'd really like to do, the only problem with Tome Skimmer is it doesn't have, if the card had Flash, my god, that card would be insane. It doesn't have Flash, though. Huh. Changeling, eh? Sure. Oh, what is our opponent doing? Well, let's run out of Flood Pits Down or tap down the Changeling. So the real challenge is untapping with it. If we do get to untap with it, though, I think the card's insane. We're going to run it out. I mean, you're playing Changelings. Can you actually kill our Voracious Tome Skimmer? Hopefully not. Hit you down to 18. Opponent untaps and land. I mean, if we untap with the Tome Skimmer, we're going to draw some cards. Opponent. All right, going to Hex our Flood Pits Drowner. That's a little awkward because they could hit us with Tiny Bones and then cast it, but all right, opponent's going to case of this Ash Skeleton. That's fine. I mean, okay, we're untapping with the Tome Skimmer. Let's have some fun. Opponent, I mean, sure, passes. We draw land. We'll play the land, go to combat. Do we attack? Yeah, I don't think we're blocking with Tome Skimmer, so hit ya. Down to 16. So now we have Escort for Hexproof if our opponent tries to kill it, and we have a counter, and we have a Flood Pits Drowner. Corpses of the Lost. That card is kind of scary. Okay, well, maybe our opponent just beats us down. Can we survive this? All right, opponent gonna get a hasty skeleton. We're not going to stifle the trigger, but we will play a Flood Pits Drowner. We will tap down a skeleton. That's what the Changeling's for there, I see. They're Arachnoskeletons. What do we tap down, though? The 3-2? Oh, about it. Combat, gonna get in. So that has Sus. That has First Strike. All right, let's do it. Let's run out the Escort. Tome Skimmer. Draw another card. So it's already drawn 2. Give a Hexproof. And then block the Tiny Bones. So we take our beats down to 10, but we get rid of the Tiny Bones. Opponent unfortunately gets to pick up the corpses. We draw an island. Well, play the land. Oh, can we just, just the Escort. And I think we just pass. We could run out Enduring Curiosity main phase to draw cards. I think we're just going to do it at instant speed. And then we get to draw off Tome Skimmer. I mean, how many cards does Tome Skimmer have to draw to be great? And I don't think... Death, oh, they are really a skeleton deck. Death Baron, okay. Well, I mean, we got the Noggle the Mind, so if we need to answer something, we can just Noggle it. Opponent, combat, gonna get in. Well, this works out pretty well, because now we get to Noggle the Mind Death Baron, draw a card with Skimmer, make our opponent lose all their abilities, which now means we can kill this Changeling. And we only actually take 2 here down to 7. And I mean, we're gonna keep drawing. Spectral Sailor, draw a card. No fear. Down to 6. Hey, if we're gonna die, we're gonna die to our own Tome Skimmer draw. Get in and hit ya. I mean, this is pretty good now, because now we can Enduring Curiosity and have the counter up, or we can Flabloom Trick, tap something down. Also, all this draws us cards with Tome Skimmer. What have we drawn 4 now, I think? Bonnet. Another Death Baron. I mean, giving the Skeletons Death Touch is obnoxious. It doesn't just, like, straight up beat us. Yeah, in that case, I think we Flabloom Trick to draw a card, of course, down to 5. Watch us just die to a shock or something. Tap down a skeleton. Bonnet gonna go attacking. Well, block you. All right, so we take 0. We stay at 5. Thankfully, our opponent just hasn't replayed this Corpses of the Lost. I would have been much more scared. Like, the Death Barons, I think, are actually just worse than Corpses. If they had just been replaying the Corpses, we probably would have died. Well, then it might be time for a main phase. Enduring Curiosity here. Get it down, get in, hit ya. Draw 2 more cards. Found it down to 7, and this is working incredibly well so far. Ooh, Into the Floodmaw is great. Wow, and a counter. Okay, those were 2 cards that are very good. Turns out that just drawing all the cards means you're going to draw the good cards eventually. Opponent corpses to the lost. Yeah, I mean, this should be the seal deal here. Phantom Interference, counter it, and you know what? You know what? We're actually going to say no. No reason to accidentally die to a burn spell here. We're in such amazing shape. Opponent combat. And I mean, we just tempoed them into oblivion. I mean, tempoed them out of the game, drew all the cards. Once we get to the point where we're saying no to Voracious Tome Skimmer, that's how you know. That's how you know things have went well. Either that or they went really badly and we have no life, but in this case, it went really well and we have no life because we drew so many cards with Tome Skimmer. But those cards win us the game. Like, we're hitting our interaction, we're hitting our counters. Like, Enduring Curiosity already does that. What makes me really excited about this deck as a budget deck is now we have not just Enduring Curiosity, but we also have Voracious Tome Skinner. So now we have these two insane engine pieces. Yeah, we're just going to end the Flood Mob, bounce the token. You know what? We'll draw this time. We'll go to 4. We'll go to 4. That's fine. That's fine. I think we're just going to win the game here. And untap, and opponent scoops it up. But we've talked about this many times before. Redundancy, right? When you have 4 of a thing, you can build a deck around it, but if you don't draw the thing, it can go badly. The Heartless Summoning problem, you might say. But when you get 8 of a thing, then you should always be able to find the thing. And even though Enduring Curiosity is not the same as Voracious Tome Skinner, they're both card advantage engines that work with the same thing. Cheap, evasive flash creatures, or even Enduring Curiosity has flash. So I feel like it's like a natural fit here. Basically go down a little bit of expensive stuff, go down a little bit more cheap interaction. And I guess that's about it. All right, on to game number 2. Budget Mono Blue Flash in Lorwyn Eclipsed Standard, and we're going to be on the draw. And well, all right, we're going to do some Tome Skimming. Double Tome Skimmer is pretty spectacular. What are you up to? Opponent going to 6. And all right, tap land. Well, island, go. So we're playing the all island mana base. I do think you can improve it. Ooh, Undead Sprinter. I haven't seen that card in a minute. Opponent going to sprint in for 2. Well, we'll play land and pass the turn. We might flip it around or tap it down, just save a smidge of damage. Ooh, corpses are lost. Ooh, okay, that's a pretty good skeleton start. Well, let's flip pits around her. Tap down the skeleton. Opponent gonna get their token. I think we just trade, right? They don't get to pick it up if it's a token that dies. Yeah, we'll just block it. Untap, and yeah, let's get to skimming. See if they can kill it. If they can't kill it, we get to do what we do last game. And last game, Tome Skimmer quite literally won us the game. Opponent land. Changeling skeleton. Little feisty skeleton. Another Undead Sprinter. All right, well, opponent's got some bodies, but we are untapping with the Tome Skimmer. Opponent hits us down to 15. Well, we're just going to play land, and do we double Tome Skimmer? How greedy are we? Oh, I think we pass. I don't know if we have enough life to draw all the cards with 2 Tome Skimmers. Plus, we can get down this Enduring Curiosity to draw cards. Gangly Stompling. All right, opponent. All about the change. I mean, the Changelings are good at rounding out a janky tribal deck like this. Opponent getting in. Well, okay, we need to do some things here. So, into the Flood Maw. Actually, maybe we just Enduring. Yeah, let's just Enduring Curiosity. Enduring Curiosity, draw a card, down to 14. Hornlock Whale actually not bad as removal. And then we'll just block both the Sprinters. Take our beats. Down to 6. That is a lot of damage. And our opponent gets to pick up the corpses. Oh, opponent's at 19. That is a lot of life. I think we just get in with the Skimmer. We're going to lead back to Enduring Curiosity for blocking purposes. And yeah, pass the turn. I mean, we have bounce. We have two bounce spells, so we shouldn't die this turn, even with the corpses. Opponent corpses return. This game is going much better for our opponent because they didn't draw those silly Death Barons, and they actually just have to keep replaying corpses, which is not what we want. We'd rather have them be playing Death Barons. All right, so into the Flood Maw. We will bounce a token. So if we bounce the token, and then we can whale the Stompling. Yeah, we're going to draw. No fear, down to 5. Now we can whale the Stompling. And then we can, I guess, just block and lose our Enduring Curiosity, but that's fine. Actually, let's just Noggle the Mine. That's even better now that we drew it. Down to 4, down to 3. No fear with the Skimmer, and we will block, and now the board is clear. We are down to 3 life, but the board is clear. We're untapping with Enduring Curiosity. We have a handful of action thanks to the Skimmer, and now we just got to close out this game. I mean, this is going well. Combat, get in. I think we hit you with both. Get in some damage. Found it down to 10. Draw 2 cards. We just draw so many cards with this deck. Ooh, all right, another island. Other than Tome Skimmer, we basically want to play everything at at instant speed with this deck. Skimmer is the one thing we kind of got to break that rule and get it down at sorcery speed, but opponent, Corpses of the Lost, sure. I don't think we're going to die to that because we have a handful of flash creatures. Plume Creed Escort. We're going to start declining now. We're down to 3. We're down to 3. We can't be too greedy. Plume Creed Escort. Not going to draw. And, I mean, we have Tron. I don't know if we need to play it. Let's just kill this. And that should be lethal, right? Now we just play another Escort. And you know what? Let's go to 2. Don't Burst Lightning us. If we lose to a Burst Lightning now, I'm going to cry. And that looks like 10 to me. Untap a deck. And wow, what a dominating tempo performance. We drew so many cards, and actually maybe Mono Blue's the new fairies. That felt spectacular. Well, sweet. All right, budget magic time. We are heading to Lorwyn Eclipsed standard this week to play some Mono Blue Flash with Voracious Tome Skimmer. And this hand, I mean, we got no card advantage engine, which is annoying, but it's fine. We got some interaction. I mean, I guess we got the 5-drop, but that's not a real card advantage engine, and it's slow. Maze Mindstorm, ooh. Boros Control? Boros, I don't know, if you see Maze Mindstorm, it's definitely a slow deck, right? You're not playing Maze Mindstorm in aggro. But Boros, you think aggro. I wonder what our opponent's up to. Boros mid-range, maybe? Boros Artifacts? Oh, Black Man. Okay, Mardu mid-range? Well, yeah, we're just gonna untap. Noggle the Mind. Noggle the Mind's funny. Noggle the Mind's actually kind of good in this deck. I know it's 2 mana, but having Flash actually makes it kind of synergistic, and making the creature lose all abilities at instant speed can be a blowout. Opponent's gonna start drawing with the Maze Mindstorm. I'm gonna play a Blood Grip tapped, and what are we doing, Pride? Opponent's gonna pass. Well, play the land and pass the turn. At some point, I would like to get down an Enduring Curiosity. The problem is, this deck's gonna have removal for days, I bet. Like, Maze Mindstorm is something you play in a God? Huh. Well, I mean, let's see if they have exile-based removal. If we get down tap with it, we got the Plume Creed for protection. Enduring Curiosity. Okay, Lightning Helix is actually kind of fine. That's kind of fine. At least it wasn't exile. Like, if they had, Inevitable Defeat or something, that would have been really annoying. But now at least we still have the enchantment, Enduring Curiosity. We will just miss our land drop awkwardly and pass. Opponent gonna draw with the Maze Mindstorm. Oh, okay, this is a Ketramos deck. It's a Ketramos deck, I see. Darkness Crystal. Well, I don't think I don't know if we care much about that. We can't really do anything about it anyway. Let's round a Plume Creed Escort. See if we can force our opponent to kill some of our bad cards. And if they can't kill them, then they become good cards because they draw with Enduring Curiosity. Do we run out the second one? You know what? I think we do. It's not really protecting anything. We don't have a Skimmer. Yeah, we're just going to run it out. More potential card draw. All right, well, opponent lets it go. We draw a Whale. We'd like to hit a land here for sure. Gonna hit ya. Oh, opponent. Oh, Ride's End. Okay, well, it's not worth fighting over stuff like this. We wanna save our counters, I think, for more impactful. We could run out the Enduring Curiosity. Let's do that. So then we still draw 2. We get down another Enduring Curiosity. The only bad news is this does means we're shields down during our opponent's turn. Although if we hit a land, at least we have Floodmaw. Come on, land. Oh, come on, Floodmaw. Okay, there's a land. That's really big. That's really big. Because that means if our opponent tries to kill our Enduring Curiosity, at least we can... Well, we're going to see it right now. Day of Judgment. At least we can bounce the Darkness Crystal so it doesn't get exiled. So bounce the Darkness Crystal, give our opponent a fish. Sadly, the fish is not long for this world, but we get another Enduring Curiosity, and we just need bodies. We just need bodies that can attack, because if we do, Spectral Sailor is a body that's actually kind of oddly the perfect draw here. 1 mana with Flash, and it draws with Enduring Curiosities. Opponent Maze Mind Stone, I'm gonna draw, sure, up to 25. Life Total not super relevant, although actually like, kind of is relevant with this deck, because we're kind of just tempoing and chipping in, but... Alright, there's the Ketramos. Well, have I told you about the power of Noggle the Mind? I mean, that is our opponent's... That's obviously what they're built around. They got Caverns they got all this Exile stuff, and we have a hilarious answer that no one expects. Well, we're going to Noggle the Mind. Ketramos gonna become a 1/1 Noggle, no abilities. Spectral Sailor. We would kind of like this to live. Alright. We just want to draw cards. Opponent gonna kill it, sure, with a Hex. We draw more into the Flood Maws. We'll pass the turn. What are we doing, Ketramos? What are we doing over there, Ketramos? The Darkness Crystal returns. Yeah, sure, fine. I mean, we can run out the Unagi. 1, 2, they actually can waterbend it though. 1, 2, 3, 4, they can, huh? Oh, do we risk our Unagi? So 2 mana removal, tap everything. That's exactly enough to waterbend 4. Yeah, we're gonna wait. We draw land and pass the turn. I don't think we have to be in a rush, because I think we're gonna actually win the long game here, which I guess is one of the reasons this deck might be good. If we can win the aggro game and the long game, that's kind of most of the games. Opponent, Kaya, Forgotten Kaya. I actually literally forgot this Kaya was still in Standard. Kaya, Spirit's Justice, sure. Opponent, gonna Surveil 2. Exile a card from the graveyard. Would be good with Ketramos, I guess, if it was not a Noggle. The Noggle the Mind got him pretty good. It got him pretty good. Alright, let's just make a 2/2. 2/2 flyer. Will you stop killing our stuff for a minute? We just want to draw some cards, opponent. We don't even want to damage you. Another Hex, alright. Well, we're slowly running our opponent out of answers. Ooh, there's a good one. Okay, there's a Tome Skinner. That's an insanely good draw, because now we can cast these into the Flood Maws. Worst case, to bounce stuff, and cycle, and draw cards. And we're at the full 20 life, because our opponent is not been able to be aggressive at all. Split up to destroy all untapped creatures. Well, in response, bounce your Darkness Crystal, pay a life, draw a card. And bounce your Kaya. Another land is, I guess, okay. Not great, though. Bounce your Kaya, pay a life, draw a card. Alright, Playbloom Tricks is very, very good. Very, very good. So opponent gets a couple of fish. Next turn, I think we might finally be able to start drawing cards. Opponent, Darkness Crystal, for the 3rd time. Opponent spent a lot of mana trying to get down that Darkness Crystal. Ooh, alright. Escort's very good, too. That might let us play Unagi if we want to, although Playbloom Tricks is probably still just better. Like, Playbloom draws us 4 cards, and if we draw 4 cards, we probably just win. Opponent, Kaya, is back. Like, I think that's the axis we're fighting on right now, is card advantage. Like, if either one of us starts to snowball cards, I think the other one can't win, and we are way closer to snowballing cards, because we have these 2 Enduring Curiosities, which means all we need is some creatures, and we're going to try to make some. Playbloom Trick. A couple of fairies, tap down your flyer, and opponent. Wow, they drew a lot of hexes. You know what? We're going to route the Escort. The time has come to draw the cards. Hexproof. Tap it down, untap, land, and hit ya. Yes, your Kai is fine. Does this work? Oh god. Alright, well, we get to draw a new hand, and I mean that should do it. I don't know how you come back from this. Wow. Not only a new hand, but a new hand of literally straight gas. 2 Tome Skinners, another Escort, another Enduring Curiosity. I'll play the land past the turn. Opponent needs a counter here, and a counter I don't even think, or not a counter, a sweeper, and I don't even think a sweeper does it. All right, opponent going to exile the Tome Skinner, exile a fish. Yeah, all right, sure. Whatever. I don't even think we care at this point. We don't even care. Opponent, yeah. Sure. Do your Kaya-y stuff. Opponent plays a land. I'm surprised our opponent's still staying in this game. Like, I think I would have scooped last turn. Flame Boom Trick. And opponent stuck it out a little bit, but cannot overcome the card draw, and that also went pretty well. So, what do we want against Mardu Ketramos? Lots of removal, lots of sweepers. Spell Pierce seems fine. Now let's go down a Whale. Yeah, maybe one Flood Pits. Like, they don't have that many creatures. So maybe the creature stuff. I do like the Noggles just because it deals with Ketramos so cleanly. It's hard to cut too many Plume Creeds in a removal heavy matchup. It is very good there, but maybe we could trim one. We need to cut 2 more cards. Yeah, let's go Plume Creed and Spectral Sailor, run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're going to be on the draw for this one. And this hand, well, okay, I mean, hand looks good. We need to hit a land or 2, but we got the Tome Skinner, got some counters. Little duress. Had some counters. And bounce and Flybloom tricks, but probably not anymore. Opponent gonna take the counter, of course. Well, land, go. Gonna play, ooh, Cavern on God. Cavern is kind of annoying. One place I think this deck can be upgraded is the mana base. We're just playing 24 islands. Simple, smooth, easy. I do think Agniquella would be good. It's more rares. It's not super expensive in paper, but it's more rares. I would play some of those. And maybe it's worth playing some Demolition Fields to deal with caverns or Bossing Says. So that could be worth considering, although it's tough to play colorless lands because of Voracious Tome Skinner being triple blue, drawing the dresses this game. Yeah, I mean, we could bounce the Maze Mind Tome and give him a fish, does not seem worth it. Opponent going to take the Flame Trace. Well, opponent's also low on cards, but they're refueling. Like, currently, our opponent's the one winning the card advantage battle. We're going to not play Tome Skinner here. Next turn, we can play it and leave up into the Flood Maw. So I think it's better to wait until we can try to trigger it. Opponent, going to do a little scrying. Interesting. Normally, when I see the temples, it's someone playing a budget deck. Our opponent, I think, is just actually playing it, though. Like, their mana base does not look budget. That's Blood Crypt, that's Cavern, that's Verges. So it's not like it's the only dual land they have. Triple Duress is really rough. Duress-Tron is actually a very good Tron against our deck. And we might be losing this one. At least we're currently. I feel like we're losing currently. Triple Duress just took away our ability to do anything. Land on go. Oh, okay, another god. Not just Ketramos. It is an actual god deck. Aclazotz. Well, there's another Tome Skinner that we can't really trigger. Yeah. Noggle the Mind. We need to noggle the mind. We need to noggle this god real quick. Opponent getting in with the Aclazotz. Remember when Aclazotz was like everywhere in Standard? There was a time when this was like kind of a staple. I think one of the like top 10 creatures in the format. Opponent hits us down to 16. We had to set our Tome Skinner. Opponent gains life. Well, Unagi, please don't kill it. Just let us do something, opponent. All right, we get to untap. Ooh, Enduring Curiosity. I guess 2 mana plus tapping the Maze Mind Stone. Yeah. Rides and tap the Maze Mind Stone. Can waterbend. Yeah, that works. Okay, and yeah, I don't think, with the god in hand that we can't deal with, I don't think there's any coming back at that point. I don't think we can keep just Flybloom Trick, Noggle the Mind. Can we? Yeah, I think we gotta ship it. Well, okay. 5 beautiful lands, a Plume Creed escort into the gate. This hand might actually just be worse than the first one, honestly. Found it. Temple of Silence. Come on, card draw. Well, the counter is not the worst. That is not the worst. Opponent, land, and going to duress. Well, I think we just counter this because they're going to take the counter anyway, so we might as well not let them see our hand. Enduring Curiosity is a draw I like. That is the kind of draw that can dig you out from a mulligan. Opponent, land. Oh, do we run out? Yeah, we're going to wait. I was thinking about running it out and then we could main phase Enduring Curiosity and hit you, but I think we just be paid. Wow, is opponent missing a land drop? Okay, well, Enduring Curiosity, untap, and now we have the protection. Now that we've untapped, that's huge. Opponent takes the beats down to 16. We get to draw with Enduring Curiosity. Another counterspell, pass the turn in. This one might be a little over. Opponent going to duress. Yeah, we're not going to do this again. We're going to negate it. Negate the duress. About it. Oh, the blowout. Exercise on the Curiosity, but Plume Cleared Expert gives a hexproof, and Opponent scoops it up, and opponent did a great job of drawing aggressive game 2 and game 3, but in the end, Mono Blue Flash, too strong, too strong. It is time for some more budget Mono Blue Flash in Standard, and so far so good. Oh boy. Double Enduring Curiosity. So Enduring Curiosity, more than half of our deck's budget for those 4 cards, and it is worth it 1,000,000%. It is so good. It is probably the best card in the deck. Voracious Tome Skimmer is also very good, but Enduring Curiosity is just, it's so insane. It's like if, what is our, oh, is this a Kona deck? Okay, this should be interesting. Cavern is an issue. Cavern is an issue because we do have a decent amount of counters in the deck, and Cavern just shuts them down hard. Opponent, wow. More Caverns in a stock up. Yeah, we're not gonna, we could counter that just to use our mana. I don't think we're going to. I think our plan is hopefully getting down an Enduring Curiosity and starting to draw some cards. Hopefully. Opponent. I mean, I guess one of the things I love about Spider Sense is even if you can't counter a Kona, which we're not gonna be able to counter a Kona, we can still counter its triggered ability, which is kind of cute. Opponent, wow, is this, wait, Boomerang Basics. What is our opponent's? Consult the Star Chart's main phase. Okay, well, we will just run out a Enduring Curiosity. I don't know what our opponent's doing. Opponent stocked up, apparently missed their land drop off the stock up. Main phase consult the Star Charts to dig for a land, presumably. Did they whiff again? Oh, and they discard a land a hand size? Okay, well, we will hit you. I have literally no idea what's going on over there. I thought they were desperately digging for a land, but then they just discarded a land to hand size. What am I missing? Opponent, gonna stock up to find some more lands to discard to hand size? Well, all right, in that case, we'll play another Enduring Curiosity. What is happening? What is happening in this game? My goodness. Wow. I am so confused. Why would you discard the land? All right, opponent this time does play a land. Maybe they didn't realize and discards another land to hand size. Okay, well, get and hit you. Down to 8, draw a couple cards. I mean, with Noggle the Mind in hand, I think we're good. Like, even if they play Kona, uncounterably, which they can. Oh, now we got to discard to hand size. What are we gonna discard? Maybe like a Flayboom Trick and the counter. Yeah, let's do it like that. So I imagine if they jam Kona and try to do their thing, we just Noggle the Mind it, and our opponent dies. What a weird game, opponent. All right, there's Kona. There's Kona, sure. That is fine. Opponent, would you like to tap your Kona to station? Are we going to try to make it a survivor? Opponent, going to tap it down. Well, in response, Noggle it. Noggle that Kona. And opponent, yes, that is perfectly allowed. And we will assemble Tron, Enduring Curiosity Tron. And that looks like the game to me. Untap, attack, and honestly, let's say our opponent did not discard that land to hand size, because I don't know what they were doing, but I think we were still good. Like, I think our hand was still just going to beat that. Well, we'll bring in the bounce-offs. So this matchup, I think all we really want to do is make sure that Kona doesn't trigger. Like, we'll go down Flayboom Tricks. That does not seem great. We don't really want to be tapping down our opponent's Kona for them. Kind of helping them. The problem is, like, the counters seem jank against Cavern, but maybe the negate's fine. They'll still probably have non-creature stuff, like the card draw effects and whatnot that are worth countering. Well, all right, on game number 2, we're going to be on the draw. I mean, Kona is a very scary matchup. Well, this hand has no card draw. Minimal pressure, but it does have a lot of disruption, which is good. Opponent going to start on a planet land. Well, land and go. Into the Flood Maws for days over here. Opponent, land. Passing. Ooh, Tome Skinner's good. Getting down Tome Skinner would be nice. Then we actually do have a card advantage engine. That would be huge. And the nice thing about our opponent's deck is I don't think they get that much removal. Like, they might have some counters, but I don't think they're an especially removal-heavy deck. We're going to run out the Escort here. I think we need a clock. This deck really wants to be a tempo deck, right? Where we're pressuring and disrupting. If we're just disrupting, things kind of go bad. And if we're just pressuring and not disrupting, things can also go bad. But get in, hit you. I don't think we can play Tome Skinner here. I don't think we can do it. I don't think we can do it because they could just play Kona, and they have the planet land, so we would just lose if they just go Kona Omniscience. I'm gonna look at the Plumecrete Escort and pass. Well, land and go. Next turn, maybe? Yeah, we're just gonna pass. We're gonna pass. Leave up our interaction. I mean, we do have the clock. Not a fast clock, but we do have a clock. Next turn, oh boy. All right, Roiling Dragonstorm and a Cavern more obnoxiously. So opponent gonna do a little drawing. Next turn, we might be able to try to get down a Tome Skinner. Opponent gonna discard a counter spell, sure, and passes. Well, playing the land, go to combat. And yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We have a counter still. We have 2 into the Flood Maws, so if our opponent counters this, we're not gonna, I don't think we can fight for it, unfortunately, but Dispelling Exhale, yeah. We can't fight for it, unfortunately. However, we got a counter out of their hand. If it resolved, it would have been sweet. Opponent gonna stock up. I kind of think we counter this. We're not gonna be able to counter. We're not gonna be able to counter a Kona anyway. Plus, we have 2 into the Flood Maws, so our plan with Kona is gonna be to bounce it. So I think we just try to slow our opponent down a bit. Another land. All right, well, get in, hit ya. You can see how differently games play out when we don't have a card advantage engine. Like, we're still doing fine. Our opponent's down to 10. We're chipping in for 2 a turn. We got some disruption. But the huge snowball close out the game super easily. Those are the games where we have a card advantage engine going. Either Skimmer or Curiosity. Opponent with a sad little into the Flood Maw. We're actually just going to Phantom Interference here. Get another clock down. I mean, now we have a 3-turn clock. We can use the Flood Maws to defend against Kona and hopefully just beat him down with these 2 janky fly. Like, this has not been explosive. It is not going especially well, but our opponent's just kind of spinning their wheels and drawing cards, and their life total is dropping bit by bit by bit. Plumecrete Escort. Apparently the best card in our deck this game. Opponent. Gonna draw a couple of cards. Are they actually just passing? Oh, okay. Unable to scream. Yeah, all right. That does slow down our clock. Well, not gonna lie, we have so many ways of stopping a Kona. Found it down to 8, which is not bad. I do wish we had like another threat to just speed up our clock a little bit. We are giving our opponent a lot of time to find their thing. Wow. 3rd stock up. I mean, our opponent at some point is just going to have the perfect, literal perfect hand. They're just stocking up and stocking up and stocking up. And consulting the star charts, too. Opponent draws more cards. Decides to play a land rather than discard it to hand size this game. Our opponent's learning. Oh, no. Now we have no clock. Okay, that's not great. Well, there's Enduring Curiosity. Would have been spectacular like 2 turns ago. I mean, it's still very good. It's still probably our best draw, but we don't get to draw off it right away here because of all the Unable to Screams. Oh, we can't pay for an exhale, can we? Yeah, we gotta wait. Now we can. All right, next turn we can try to get down the Enduring Curiosity. I'm just a little scared because they have drawn so many cards. Meringue River Regent. Well, I kind of regret using that counter spell on the stock up now. If I had known our opponent was just going to play every stock up. I mean, I guess their deck is just card draw. Card draw, Kona, Omniscience. Ooh. That makes things a little trickier. So that gives tapped creatures hexproof. We are going to get down. Actually, I guess we just wait. We might need our mana. Well, yeah, let's get down Curiosity. So we still should be okay, right? Like, so this gives Kona hexproof while it's tapped. But if they go to play Kona, we can into the Flood Maw, the Lost in the Mist. And then Noggle the Mind the Kona. So the opponent gets a Kona. They tap it to station. Well, let's see. I mean, if they can be double into the Flood Maw plus Noggle the Mind, then I think they got us. So first step, get rid of Lost in the Maze. We need to be able to target Kona. Opponent. All right, does have an exhale. Well, that is why we played around it last turn with the Enduring Curiosity. Number 2, into the Flood Maw. Bounce a Lost in the Mist. They could have another one. They drew so many cards. Like I said, their hand has to be about perfect at this point. Oh. All right, well, only tiny bit of good news. Opponent's only got 3 cards in hand. One of them is a Terror of the Peaks. Oh no, but the Terror of the Peaks gets back the Roiling Dragonstorm. Yeah, there's Omniscience. There's Terror of the Peaks. Yeah, we could let them play it out a while and see if they are going to fizzle, but normally when Omniscience comes, good enough. So, okay. The spell pierces and annuls are actually good. Even if we can't counter Kona, we can counter the Lost in the Maze. Or Mist. We can counter the enchantments. We can counter our opponent's counters, which apparently they have a lot of. Yeah, let's try something like that. All right, on to game number 3. We're going to be on the play, which is actually kind of huge. This hand, I mean, we have literally no way to interact with our opponent's plan, but we got our card draw engines, and normally those are our most important cards, so I do like these Final Fantasy lands. They're not like, I would say solid A tier lands. They're not S tier. They're not like my favorite of all time, but I do think they actually look pretty nice. Opponent leads on a planet land. Well, we're going to play a land and pass. We will just run out a Flood Pits Drowner, Roiling Dragonstorm, but we will run out the Flood Pits Drowner. We want to clock on the battlefield. Opponent's going to draw a couple. The problem last game was we didn't draw enough pressure. Like, and this hand is going to have the pressure, which is good. We just gave our opponent way too much time. Like, if we let our opponent sit back and cast, I believe it was 3 stock ups and 1 consult. If we give our opponent that much time, they will find a way to defend their combo eventually. Well, we're going to get down the Tome Skimmer, see if we can start drawing cards. Drawing land number 4 would be amazing. Magic Gods, if you're listening. It's me, Saffron Olive. I would like an island. I've been a good boy this year. Wow, opponent. Oh, all right, well, I guess we can't complain because our opponent also missed their land drop, but we did not get a land from the Magic Gods. Apparently, I was not as good of a boy as I thought. Opponent, down to 14. Is this the saddest Oh, it is literally the saddest consult possible. 2 lands, no kicker. Look at your top 2. Hey, if it finds you a land, and it apparently found our opponent a land, so it worked out. Opponent reading Voracious Tome Skimmer. And gonna stock up. I think it's actually correct to counter this. We get to draw off Tome Skimmer and our opponent's missing land drops. Normally countering the card draw is not good. We saw that in game 1, but this is a situation where it might actually be good. Oh, not a land. Well, at least our opponent didn't get to draw. Okay, there's land number 4. That's what we were looking for. And now things become pretty good. Opponent's down to 10. We have 2 Plume Creed Experts that we can flash in, or we can flash in a Curiosity. Opponent, untap land. Wait, this almost just gives us Unable to Scream. Oh, is this just lethal? Unable to Scream. We'll flash in a Plume Creed Escort. Draw a card. I mean, we have 4 power and 2 power creatures we can play. Yes, we're definitely drawing a card. Another Enduring Curiosity. Oh, about it. Wow, is this going to work? Hexproof it. And opponent going to detect intrusion. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's draw a card. And that might be game. That might be game. Did we get? Oh, we got him. We got him. And that is the power of pressure. I mean, this is just like, I guess, turn 5. But we actually had a relatively fast beatdown win, along with drawing a bunch of cards with Skimmer. And game 2, we don't talk about game 2, but we actually kind of crushed Kona there. Sweet. Meh. Sure. I mean, no real card draw engine. I mean, I guess we have, hello, opponent. I guess we have a Spectral Sailor, which doesn't really count. It's very expensive card advantage engine. Ooh. What is our opponent, Marty way? Well, let's run out a Spectral Shayla and pass the turn. Get in, hit you. Down to 19. And opponent untaps. Gonna play, all right, another Monastery and passes. Do we want to flash in something? Yeah, I think we just, I don't know what our opponent's doing. They haven't played a creature yet, so I think we just flash in the Flood Pits Drowner to have a faster clock. Down to 16. Our opponent seems more like the Quarry Mountain Monasteries. Makes me think mid-range or control more than aggro. Opponent, Swamp, and Geological Appraiser. Yeah, that's gonna add a bunch of bodies. I think that's worth countering. Phantom Interference it. And Flood Maw is not bad. Well, get in hit you. Hey, we got 4 mana. We can actually draw with the Spectral Sailor. Maybe this is our card advantage engine. Found it. Mountain. Well, all right, this one's gonna resolve. Geological Appraiser, spin it to win it. Spin it to win it into a... Yeah, sure. Get lost. Well, we will fizzle that with it. I will say the Plume Creed escorts have actually been very good. They've actually been very good. I wasn't sure, like, I figured they'd be okay, but they actually have just felt very good. Well, let's flash in another Flood Pits, tap down the Brock, or get in and hit you. I mean, we're the aggro at the moment. Opponent down to 8. We are 1 damage short from having lethal next turn. Ugh, Quintorius Con. Okay. Oh, we're so close. Opponent gonna discover 4. I think we just bounce the Quintorius. We give our opponent a tap fish, but this means they don't get to gain life off of whatever they cast here. Opponent, get lost. Gonna go after... Man, if we had one more... Wow, they're so afraid they didn't even cast it? That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. They're so afraid of getting blown out by another escort. Well, all right, Spectral Sailor. You actually are... Oh, no, that's another... We are actually kind of flooding. Hit ya. Down to 1. Can we close this out? I'm actually, like, it seems like we're in amazing shape, 20-1, but we have all lands in hand, and our opponent has 6 cards. Opponent hits us. Does this mean a Wrath is coming? Day of Judgment. All right, board down. Well, all right, there's an escort. There's an escort. The sneaky escort. Can we sneak it in and close out this game? Opponent land and... Quintorius Con returns. The elephant is back, and I imagine you discover 4 into inevitable defeat. Okay, I mean, I gotta say their discovers have not been... Wow! Wait, our opponent's gonna... Wow, they inevitably defeat... They inevitably defeat their own Quintorius Con just to gain 2? That is... an interesting choice. Ooh, Flood Pits. Okay, that helps. We're holding on to the escort because we'd really like to find something else. I mean, flash that thing in. If they go to kill that thing, then the escort can protect that thing, and then hopefully win us the game. Opponent gonna draw with the monastery, hits a surveil land, and surveils to the top, and passes. Enduring Curiosity also not bad. This might be the turn that we can go for. We'll see. We will see. We'd really like our opponent to hit something they need. Oh, like that. That's actually great. Opponent hits a Carnosaur. We want them to hit something off this monastery they want to cast to eat up some of their mana, like a Trumpety Carnosaur. So now our opponent is going to Carnosaur. Spin it to win it into... All right, double Sage of the Skies. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I think we're still okay, hopefully. So, double Sage of the Skies. We know they still have the removal spell, so Flood Pits Drowner. We might be able to win this turn. Flood Pits Drowner, tap down one of the lifelinkers. And then Enduring Curiosity. Man, we're still 1 point of damage short, aren't we? Because if we play the escort, they kill stuff in response, so we just got to untap with another escort. Well, now we will... I think we just into the Flood Maw. Into the Flood Maw, bounce the lifelink token. And then we just slam everything into our opponent? Yeah, we're just going to slam everything. Our opponent has to block Enduring Curiosity. Okay, they're going to try to kill it. In response, we will escort. Save it. Opponent's going to go to 1 again. We've been so close to killing our opponent. I was going to say a close game, but it hasn't really been a close game. We've just been very close to killing our... Oh... Fabloom Tricks is a nice draw in this situation. Pound it. Virtue Persistence. Well, we don't really want our opponent to gain life. So, Escort. Escort the Escort. Hexproof. These Escorts are actually, like, winning us this game. Now our opponent needs a Wrath. If they Wrath, we got the Fabloom Tricks to hopefully close it out. Opponent hits us down to 7. Okay, maybe this is going to end up a close game. Wow. Day of Judgment. But the Fabloom Tricks, I think, our opponent needs like 2 1-mana removal spells. Fabloom Tricks? Nothing to tap, that is fine. A couple of fairies, and opponent. Wow, that was close. Well, we got there. We got there. That was a close game. That was a close game. Sideboard-wise, so we're up against Quintorius. Mardu Discover? I actually don't know if we make a huge amount of changes. They don't have great early game creatures to kill. Maybe we go down a Hornlock Whale. The Aetherize is kind of funny. The Aetherize is really for like Badger Mole Cup style decks, primarily like those kind of aggro decks, but nothing feels better than your opponent Badger Moling into Boroiding and then just making them pick them all up. But I do think like being able to counter, negate like or Spell Pierce like a Quintorius Con seems reasonable. Yeah, let's maybe the Inagi, run it like that. All right, we're not keeping 6 lands Phantom Interference. We will keep this in. This hand's fine. I mean, we got Enduring Curiosity, so we have a card advantage engine. All right, opponent. What do you got? Surveil land and opponent. Gonna do a little milling. Well, island, go. Opponent, mountain. Well, play the ooh, double. Sometimes you draw 2 Enduring Curiosities, and it kind of feels like you can't lose. Wow, did our opponent miss a land drop? Well, we'll play a land and pass the turn. Opponent untaps and draws, and oh no, opponent. Not like this, opponent. Well, if you're not going to hit your land drops, we're going to start flashing things in to try to attack you. Plume Creed Escort. And opponent, oh my god, has the Lightning Helix. Well, are you ever going to draw a land? Our opponent does hit a land. I mean, we're going to flash in Enduring Curiosity. Can you kill that one? All right, opponent has a Get Lost. But we still get to keep Enduring Curiosity as an enchantment. I don't know how good Noggle the Mind is in this matchup. And opponent finds a land. All right, how about a Plume Creed Escort? How about that? And another one? I mean, if we get to draw 2 here, that's kind of huge. All right, there's the Aetherize. We'll get in and hit ya. And you know what? Let's see if we can draw 4. Wow, it's gonna work. An opponent does not even wait to stick around. And the card advantage closes it out, and we're kind of crushing it with this deck, honestly. We're not even that far away from Mythic. Well, all right. Yeah, we'll keep this. Some Flood Maws, a Noggle the Mind, which is becoming my favorite card in the deck to say at least. Just Noggle. Who doesn't want to say Noggle a bunch of times? Opponent, land, and passes. Well, island and go. Well, we do need to draw more lands. Swamp for our opponent. Into Starting Town, huh? Well, we're going to run out an Escort just to get something on the battlefield. Are we going to kill it? All right, not at the moment. Okay, that's a land. That is good. I would take 2 more lands in a row here, actually. Opponent going to Flood Pits Drowner. Ooh, is it Dimir? Interesting. Kaido. As much as I like Noggle the Mind, this is a situation where it is really not good. Do we have to into the Flood Maw? A Flood Pits Drowner? Just to prevent Kaido? That feels so bad. But if we don't do it, then what? They put Kaido into play, they draw a card, and then we got to do it during our turn and give them a fish? This is a one turn where it really makes sense, right? Because next turn, if they get a land drop, then they can just play the Kaido, hard cast it. If we can draw a land that we can skimmer and leave up the end of the Flood Maw, all right. Flood Pits Drowner returns. I mean, maybe they don't have a Kaido. You can hope and pray. Not that the Magic Gods have been listening about it. Soulstone Sanctuary, gonna get in. All right, do you have a Kaido? Of course you do about it. Of course. All right, there's Kaido. Well, that's what we were trying to avoid. Kaido is very annoying for our deck. Yeah, Kaido is very annoying. Our creatures are tapped down. We don't have enough mana to flash anything in. Opponent's gonna mill 2 and draw. Yeah, this Kaido is a issue. Oh, no. The bigger issue is just missing our land drops. Well, I guess we just have to run out this Tome Skimmer because we have no other options. The other option would be what? Bounce the Kaido with the end of the Flood Maw, give them a fish, and then they just recast it? That doesn't feel great. I think we just got to hope we high roll here and that Tome Skimmer lives. Opponent's going to Hex the Escort. That's fine. I mean, I guess it's not fine. We would have liked it to be able to pressure the Kaido, but rather have the Escort die than the Skimmer. Opponent. gonna hit us. Down to 14. Surveil 2 with Kaido. Alright, keeps 1 on top. Come on, not the skimmer. We just want to draw some cards, opponent. Dimir has plenty of removal, though. Okay, Deep Cavern Bat. Well, now our opponent's gonna know exactly what we're up to. Yeah, not being able to get to 4 for this Enduring Curiosity is kind of rough. Actually, also just Kaido's rough. We're good at bouncing things and playing the Tempo Gang, but Kaido's actually, like, pretty good at getting around that. Like, being a Planeswalker during their turn, it's hexproof. It is just, like, an obnoxious card for us to deal with. All right, opponent, going to take the Enduring Curiosity. That makes sense. That is, I mean, half of our budget. Oh, and there's the 4th land. Now that we've gotten batted, oh, they must have, oh, they have the Flood Pits Drowner, but they're not going to use it. All right, we're just going to wait then. I don't know what's going on. They must have removal, right? Oh, Bitterbloom Bear. We could answer this now and not give them a token, but I think we need to cast things during our opponent's turn to draw a card. So we're going to wait. Noggle the Mind on the Bitterbloom Bear. I wish we could be putting it on the Kaido, but that is not going to work. We get to draw with the Tome Skimmer. It's, well, all right, even more noggling. There's not really a lot of great Noggle the Mind targets in our opponent's deck. Like, the Bitterbloom Bear is fine, but it's not like they have some massive, like Kona, that was a Noggle target. But our opponent's stuff, I don't know, if they play a Preacher, Enduring Curiosity, something like that, it would be good. Opponent going to Kaido to tap down the Tome Skimmer. We're kind of also just dying, like... This is a lot of damage. They also have multiple creature lads. Oh, yeah, I don't feel so... Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Okay. But we have Noggle the Mind, so it's fine. It's fine. Well, we mentioned they didn't have a lot of good targets, but Enduring Curiosity would be one of them, and giving that no abilities is really good. We're still dying, but at least our opponent's not getting to draw cards to rub it in. Found it. Spyglass Iron, sure. Ah, Escort. Escort's been so good to us, but it is not the game or the time for a Plume-Creed Escort. Yeah, is there any way we get out of this? I don't think so. We're not a sweeper deck, right? We have Aetherize in the sideboard, but we don't have just like a reset the board button. So once we're that far behind, with our opponent that high of a life total, I don't see how we're going to get back in. So bring in the Bounce Offs. Bounce Off is also notable because, unlike Into the Flood Maw, it can bounce our stuff, which is kind of relevant as a way to, like, save a whatever, reuse the ETB trigger. And I guess we go down a Whale. Escort, running like that. All right, on to game number 2. Up against Dimir. Can we find a way to take down... I feel like no matter what I'm playing, Dimir always is obnoxious. It's just always... It's always solid. Dimir, it's very rare for Dimir, in my experience, to just be, like, bad. Other decks, you might have good games, bad games. Dimir's very, I think, consistent. It just, like, does the Dimir thing. Got good removal, got some disruption, got good threats, just, like, good stuff. And that can be tough. Opponent, untap land, Spyglass Siren. We can run out the Flood Pits. I guess it's probably worth it. Yeah, I mean, this means they can't Kaido next turn, right? Ooh, Spell Snare. We are not playing Spell Snare. I do wonder if, like, a couple of copies might be worth it. But we are not currently playing it. Opponent. All right, there's the land. Well, we can't let him Kaido again. Kaido got us good last time. Fey Bloom Tricks. If they counter this, then at least they can't put Kaido into play. All right, tap down the Spyglass Siren, or I mean, Spyglass Siren. I mean, if we just get to slam Enduring Curiosity and draw 2, I don't know if I dare, though. It also seems like, if we do that and they just counter it, it's so bad. Yeah, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Hit you to 14, pass the turn. Tishana's Tidebinder, okay. Well, opponent untaps. Do they have the Kaido? That is the other question. Oh, opponent needs lands. All right, gonna crack the map. Enduring Curiosity. Mills it. Okay, opponent definitely needs lands if they're milling Enduring Curiosity. Opponent, Spyglass Iron number 2. Unfortunately, they're kind of building up a wall of defense. Opponent, gonna crack the map. We're gonna play the Enduring Curiosity now, just in case they go like land and null or something. All right, opponent hits a starting town. Plays it tapped. Gets in, hits us. Ew, even more lands. Oh, we've drawn a lot of lands this game. Oh, we're getting in with everything. We need to draw some cards. Opponent's gonna block, opponent's gonna block. We get to draw 1. Opponent down to 13. Please not more lands. Okay, Floodmaw. Floodmaw is not a land. It's not a land. Opponent Island. Gonna go to combat. I mean, oh, just pass? Okay, I'm fine with that. Well, play the land. We got just pass. We could, like, bounce the Spyglass Siren, try to get in and draw a card. That doesn't really seem worth it. Okay, they had a Hex anyway. Well, I'm glad we didn't try to do that. That would have been a huge blowout. If we actually bounced Spyglass Siren and then they just hexed, then we're down a card for quite literally nothing. Wow, they looking at the Enduring Curiosity? Oh, wow. Wow. Writhing Torment. Interesting. And we cannot bounce off an enchantment. So yeah, that works. Well, go horny? Hornlock Whale? Save us? I mean, it does have Ward 2. It is a 6/6. Oh, opponent Enduring Curiosity. Gonna go to combat, get in, hit us. Down to 16, draws a card. I mean, we might, another land. We might have a shot. So we bounce Enduring Curiosity. The ward means they definitely aren't killing the whale this turn. We hit our opponent to 4. We don't get to draw or anything. Well, all right, hit you. Down to 4. And then in theory, they attack, replay Enduring Curiosity. We bounce it again, attack for lethal? Like, if our opponent does that, then we might be good. Opponent, combat, opponent. Get in there, play that Enduring Curiosity, draw that card. You gotta draw that card. You gotta, opponent gonna play around it. All right. Oh no, land number 9. And there's a Flood Pits Drowner, and they can pay the ward. Ooh, okay. Man, I think we're just drawing a few too many lands here. Opponent gonna tap down the Hornlock Whale. This one might be slipping away. Opponent untaps. I mean, we do have the End of the Floodmaw, so we can at least bounce Enduring Curiosity to keep them from drawing. I wonder if they think about shuffling away the whale. How much do they care about Hornlock Whale? That is the question. And, wow, no Enduring Curiosity. Hits us down to 10. Gonna play Creature Land. Well, Feebloom Tricks is not bad. It gives us a shot, at least. It gives us something. It's better than land number 10, that's for sure. Opponent. There's Enduring Curiosity. Yeah, I mean, we gotta wait. Opponent untaps. Hopefully they, like, fire up the Creature Land, maybe. That would probably be the best. Well, okay. So we're gonna Feebloom Trick. I think we tap down Spyglass. And if they attack, then we can block Flood Pits, bounce Enduring Curiosity, something like that. I think we just take it. Sure, down to 6. All right, I mean, this ended up being a very close game. Very, 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 very close. Opponent looking at the Hornlock Whale, gonna shoot the Sheriff and pay the ward. Sure. Oh, come on, deck. Plume Creed Escort. Oh, and that does it. And that is gonna do it. A Feebloom Trick of their own, and Demir. So what did we learn this week about Mono Blue Flash and Lorwyn Eclipsed Standard? And record-wise, we went 6-3 with the deck, so a 67% win rate, which honestly, super good. Like, not just for a budget deck, but super good overall. Of course, kind of a smallish sample size, but really, the deck felt pretty powerful. And I gotta say, Voracious Tome Skimmer, that card is kind of insane. Like, we get to see some games where Tome Skimmer really, really popped off, where it drew us, like, I don't know, 8 cards or something. We ended up winning with, like, 1 life because we just paid all of our life to draw cards to Tome Skimmer. So that card really, really impressed me. There is a little clunkiness where if it had Flash, it would be an absurd card. But there's, like, this window of a risk where we have to spend 3 mana and get it on the battlefield. But if we actually get to untap with it and start leaving up all of our counters and all of our instant speed protection, it can just take over games on its own. So Voracious Tome Skimmer was really, really good. Enduring Curiosity, we already know that card's kind of busted. And the rest of the stuff just felt solid. Like, we have a good curve. We have all this, like, tricky stuff where we're just tapping your stuff down and kind of being obnoxious. The bad games with this deck are the games where we don't have a card advantage engine. If we can't find and stick a card advantage engine, then things can fall apart pretty quickly because, as I mentioned way back in the deck tag, we're playing a bunch of, Plume Creed escorts and stuff. We don't have any, super above the curve creatures that can just accidentally win on their own. So really focus on finding a card advantage engine. I don't think you have to, mulligan into Oblivion to find it or whatever, but I put a lot of value in having a card advantage engine, and then if we have one, trying to protect it, even waiting an extra turn to play the Tome Skimmer so we can leave up some protection is often the right thing to do, because if we get to untap with a card advantage engine, this deck can take over the game super, super quick. So if you like tempo decks, you like draw a ton of cards, you like weird, sneaky, tricky, tap your stuff down kind of plays, I actually think Mono Blue Flash is a pretty sweet budget option for Lorwyn Eclipsed standard. So that is Mono Blue Flash. That's our budget magic for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.